فَلَمَّا جَاوَزَ قَالَ لِفَتَاهُ آتِينَا غَدَاءَنَا لَقَدْ لَقِينَا مِنْ سَفَرِنَا هَذَا نَصَبًا. فَلَمَّا, and then when, جَاوَزَ, they passed beyond. It's in the dual form, but we maintain the they in the English language. Qala, he said, that is Musa al-Islam said, li fatahu, to his boy, atina, give us, ghada'ana, our lunch. Laqad, certainly already, we'll insert the already at the appropriate place. Lakina, we have met, so certainly we have already met. Min safarina hadha nasaban. Min safarina hadha, because of this journey of ours, nasaban, with much fatigue. You hear every day I give a passing reference of rafa, nasab, jar. These are the various states, the grammatical states or the grammatical status of words in the Arabic language. So nasaban is in the nasab status. Nasb actually means weak. Rafa means elevated. Nasb means weak. Nasaban is the same root word we're talking about. So we have already met with much weakness. Fatigue is better because of this journey that they were on. So, and min safarin nasab. So a nasab, I mean, because nasaban appears in the nasab status, it's a really nice play of words. Not really play of words, interesting occurrence actually over here. We translate that first. Certainly we have already met with much fatigue. Min safarin haza, because of this journey of ours. So the context is very simple, nothing much to elaborate over here. What I want to do is take this opportunity to state three things which I actually missed during a conversation about the last verse. One was when they eventually reached. If you remember, balagha, instead of when they reached, I have translated as when they eventually reached. Where is that eventually coming from? So I think I missed this point, as did I miss two more points. So basically, just in the previous verse, so today 62, 61, 60, in verse number 60, there was that hukuban word that appeared. So that means he had made up his mind to travel, even if it were to be lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime, even if there were multiple lifetimes. This is symbolic language. So he would have done that. So how long did they travel? Probably quite long, before they reached the junction of the two seas, Majma al-Bahraini. So that is why I have added the word when they eventually reached. That was one point. And the second point was, I think, with respect to the word saraban, and there were four words. So into the sea, fi al-bahri, into the sea, straight as if in a tunnel, slipping away wondrously. Four words. I think I had explained two over there, tunnel and slipping away. But the other two, I think I missed explaining those points. Where is the term wondrously coming from? You remember the verb is not akhaza, it's ittakhadha. It's already emphasized. So that emphasis needs to be translated as wondrously. You could add exclamation mark as well. That is where it is coming from. So wondrously, or you could mark it with an exclamation mark. Both are okay. Tunnel is fine because Saraban, the root word is tunnel or burrow, but that's in a land, not in a sea. So that is why I have said as if in a tunnel. And slipping away is another meaning derived from the same root word, sneaking away or slipping away. So that is there as well. And the other point was straight. Where did I get it from? So basically I explained that when you throw a stone in water, I'm not talking the ripple, I explained this as well, but the vortex that is formed. So to describe that, so as if like a tunnel, that vortex, straight as if in a tunnel, slipping away wondrously. I think these three interesting points which I missed, I thought I would cover in this session. So as always, so that was yesterday's, but today's we have explained as well. It's relatively simple. Yeah. Jawaza. Jawaza. It's in the dual form. They pass beyond. So to pass beyond that certain point. So they were wanting to reach the junction of the two seas. When they passed that, when they crossed that, they now felt fatigue, and so Musa alayhi salam said to to Joshua basically alayhi salam, give us our lunch. So okay, two more interesting points. It's good that I recollected these today itself. Ghada, ghada na, that's the attached pronoun. So give our lunch. Ghada, ghada na, our lunch. Na is the sort of attached pronoun over here. So ghada, what is it? Ghada doesn't mean lunch. It's just to represent a simplistic translation. I've done that. Ghada basically means, now it's interesting to understand because these are terminology, because Arabic has its own connotations. Arabic habits could be different. The modern paradigm could have different connotations about food, food habits, food timings, etc. So ghada means it's not lunch actually. It's, you can say, a day meal. You could say a morning meal, but morning meal would not be very accurate. It is more appropriately rendered as day meal. What else? You could also translate it as before noon meal. So there is noon, 12 noon, and there is afternoon and before noon. But I don't think such a terminology exists in the English language. Before noon as a term does not exist in the English language. You don't call it before noon meal. So you could use forenoon meal in that case, forenoon meal or day meal, not even morning meal, but day meal. And the timing was before noon. So that was the time you're supposed to have this food. So I hope this part was clear, but simplistically translating, I've translated lunch, but now you have the background. Because lunch, why I thought it was important to bring this to your notice is because lunch predominantly, most of the world population today typically has it in the afternoon. I mean, not before 12 noon, definitely, most at least. So this is forenoon, day meal. Okay, that was the point. Okay, so very interesting point from the Balagha perspective or spirituality perspective. It's been suggested that they had already undertaken a long journey, but they did not feel fatigue. So this fatigue, nasban, yeah, did not feel fatigue. But after they crossed that path, pass beyond, to cross over, to pass beyond, to walk past. So to pass beyond is a sort of neutral way to express the same thing, jawaza. What I'm saying is, so a deep dive into spirituality, again, by the way, is an expert in that. He is profound. So, and others have as well have suggested that when you approach the correct destination, when you head towards the correct destination, you don't feel fatigue. But when you cross that and you go in a different direction, the moment you cross, now you're headed in the direction which will not lead you to that destination, right? It's now you've walked past that. That destination will not come. You'll continue for lifetimes. That destination will not come. You have already passed that point. So when you move away from your destination, Islam, then fatigue sets in. Beautiful, beautiful sort of interpretation, and it makes perfect sense as well. And the conversation will continue between Musa and Joshua alayhi salam, and we'll see what happens about the fish. Something will come up in that conversation. Very interesting conversation. So, okay, so some of the things, Javas I've explained, Ghada, that is very important, and we need to keep that at the back of mind to appreciate the context and basically the context, the setting of that time and the habits of that time to understand it fully. And obviously, Nasaban is a very interesting word used over here, fatigue in this case. In the English word fatigue describes it best. Nasab is weak basically, and I explained that. Rafa nasab jar. Anyway, so we read it once. فَلَمَّا جَاوَزَ قَالَ لِفَتَاهُ آتِينَا غَدَاءَنَا لَقَدْ لَقِينَا مِنْ سَفَرِنَا هَذَا نَصَبًا And then when they passed beyond, he said to his boy, give us our lunch. Certainly we have already met with much fatigue because of this journey of ours. Lakina, I think Lakina I missed. Lakina is met, to meet or to encounter. To suffer, some people have translated, some translators, scholars have translated to suffer. Suffers can be a derived meaning, which is okay. Basically, it means to meet or to encounter. So that was another point I think I missed. I'll read the English again. Arabic, we already read it once. And then when they passed beyond, he said to his wife, give us our lunch. Certainly, we have already met with much fatigue because of this journey of ours.